spoken and phonetics for changes and adult learners.
Day 12. Family with children. What kind of parent do you intend to be?
That's an interesting question. Allow me to explain my personal views by shortly mentioning the following points. First of all, I would love my children unconditionally. What I mean is that I realize my child is not perfect, but I will still love him or her even if he or she has made a mistake. Secondly, I would like to be known as a strict but fair parent. For example, I will not allow my child too many freedoms, but I will also try to understand his needs.
What hopes or fears do you have concerning your children?
Well, that's an interesting question. Allow me to explain myself by shortly mentioning the following points. Firstly, I fear that my children will have a very hard life. For example, I wonder if they will have work to do. Secondly, I hope that they will be happy. For example, that they will find a good spouse, have children, and live together in peace and love.
Page 174. What type of culture do you want your child to grow up in?
That's a broad question. Allow me to explain myself by shortly mentioning the following points. Firstly, I would like my child to grow up in a culture of love. What I mean to say is that I hope the circumstances in our home will be full of love and understanding. Secondly, I hope my child will grow up in a culture where the finer things in life are important. For example, things like music, art, and studying should be part of his life from the beginning.
Are you going to bring your children up differently from the way you were brought up? Why?
No, not really. I believe my parents raised me well and gave me a good education. If I could do the same for my child, I would be happy. Maybe I would be a bit more modern. For example, I believe my parents were unreasonably strict at times. I would try and keep a balance between discipline and freedom.
Preferences, as in friends. What does friendship mean to you?
One of the aspects I could tell you about regarding this topic is that friendship is very important for me. For example, I believe that friendship should be the basis for many of our relationships. Husband and wives, for example, should be friends. In addition, I need friends to help me when I'm in trouble. I know this sounds selfish, but I feel that it is one of the reasons why I have friends, and they would not mind me saying so. On the other hand, my friends know that I will always be available should any one of them get into some trouble.
Do you have a lot of friends?
Yes, I have a lot of friends. Some of them are only casual friends, like my friends at work. But I also have some best friends. For example, I have some friends who I have known for many years. I will do anything to help them when they need me. And I know they would do the same for me.
Do you prefer to be alone or to be with friends?
I prefer to be with my friends. Please allow me to explain. At work, I spend most of my time alone in my office. So, after work, I like company of other people. I often invite some of my friends over and we listen to our favorite music or just chat the whole evening.
Do you prefer to be alone or to be with friends?
Sometimes I prefer to be alone. For example, after a hard day at work, I just want to relax without anybody disturbing me. Those are the times that I might meditate on the meaning of life, for example, or just savor some fond memories. On the other hand, sometimes I want to be with my friends. For example, over weekends, I like to go out with them and enjoy their stimulating company.
What do you usually do with your friends?
We usually go to the movies. My friends and I like cartoons very much. So, we will look in the newspaper where a new cartoon is being showed and go and watch it. In addition, we like to watch a good action movie from time to time. We find the spectacular crashes and explosions very exciting. These movies are from Bollywood and Hollywood and have famous actors like Shah Rukh Khan and Tom Cruise playing in them.
Page 175. Music and movies. Do you often go to the cinema?
Yes, I go to the cinema as often as possible. I usually go with some friends to watch the latest action movies or comedies. We have a great time, like for example, when our favorite star is playing a lead role in the movie.
Do you often go to the cinema?
Yes, I go to the cinema as often as possible. I believe that films are a wonderful form of art. Please allow me to explain. Firstly, in films there are a wide range of genres ranging from comedy and drama to horror and science fiction. For example, recently I've seen the drama Titanic, which has been described as the most expensive film ever made. The extent to which the producers attended to the details of the original ship was outstanding. Another example would be the thriller with my favorite actor Anthony Hopkins in the lead role, called Silence of the Lambs. It had been on the edge of my seat.
Do you often go to the theater?
No, I never been to the theater. Firstly, it's too expensive for me. I prefer to go to the cinema. Secondly, I believe that the theater is boring. What I mean to say is that the actors are on the same stage the whole time. I cannot see how that can be as exciting as a good movie.
What kind of movies do you like best?
I like comedies. First of all, comedies are great fun. What I mean to say is that I have a good laugh while watching. Secondly, comedies seldom contain violent scenes. For instance, you would not easily find murders, shooting, fighting, and so on in a comedy. Lastly, comedies often contain excellent acting by famous stars. For example, Robbie Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire is considered one of the most extraordinary performances ever by an actor.
Who is your favorite movie star? Describe him or her.
My favorite movie star is Jackie Chan. He is handsome and very funny. He always has a smile on his face and never seems to be worried about the situation that he finds himself in. The US President Clinton went to watch one of his movies with him.
Do you think music is important?
Yes, I like music very much. That is to say, I cannot imagine my life without. Firstly, I believe music plays an important part in people's lives. For example, we can use it to soothe our minds after a hard day at work, or it can provide us with the rhythm to dance to.
What kind of music do you enjoy most?
I like pop music very much. Allow me to explain. First of all, pop music is lively and suits me at my age. What I mean to say is that we youngsters like to listen to music that fits in with the way we feel. Secondly, usually music has a good rhythm. For instance, it is suitable for us to dance on. Lastly, pop music is simple to understand. That is to say, I like it because it's not difficult to understand and it helps me to relax after I've been studying hard for some time.
Page 176. How long do you listen to music every day?
Oh, let me think a bit. I guess I listen to music for about half an hour every day. I would, for example, listen when I get home from school or in the evenings before I go to bed. On weekends, however, I listen to music much more. For For example, I would invite my best friend over to my place and we would listen to our favorite CDs for a few hours at a time.